What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD Mobile video. So here we are at the start of November, and we are basically a few days away before Season 10 officially releases. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the anniversary season, but it's the season right before that. And as you guys know, we might actually be getting a minor update rather than a major update. I think they are saving that major update for the anniversary season. So yeah, we have to wait basically another month. So there are a few things I do want to talk about, before the season begins. And, it would be a very good first video for the month. And the reason why I didn't upload for these past few days was mainly because I kind of already reached the threshold of how much, like, as a YouTuber you have to make in order to get paid, which is like $100. I made well over 180. So thank you guys so much for the support. I really do love that you guys have been donating a lot more during these streams. Really appreciate it. But anyways, yeah, I do want to talk about a certain subject. So I've been hearing about a lot of YouTubers that are starting to quit more and more as time, is going on. I heard there's this one BR player that recently left. I forgot his name. Parker mentioned it. Yeah, there's a BR player quitting. There's a lot of, I guess, multiplayer mains quitting, especially in the ranked scene. And honestly, at this point, I don't really blame them for leaving. Honestly, I'm not really blaming anyone for leaving the game as of right now. There are two primary reasons as to why people would actually quit the game. And one of the reasons, of course, is just the fact that the game could sometimes get a little stale. I mean, sometimes I don't play for a few days, or I just do the bare minimum of a single day, like maybe just play the good old 3 games, maybe play a few with like my friends, and that's basically it. But also, there are players out there that just honestly are not liking the balance of the game. They find ranked to be a very basically a nuisance. They get on every day. They realize they have to deal with just countless USS9 users, martyrdom users. Basically anything that's like broken in the game, you're gonna see in every single lobby of ranked mode. So yeah, honestly, I understand why people want to leave the game. But at the same time, it kind of goes back to what I said a few months ago, where I think the community of this game has over prioritized ranked a bit too much. I go on Twitter every day, and that's honestly all I see. Just people complaining about multiplayer. Just like every team that they go up against, they're all just using Martyrdom. They're all using USS9, or just all just pure meta users. It's just the same story over and over again. Like I said, I made a video a few months back talking about how we over prioritize ranked a little bit too much. And honestly, even now, it seems to be the case. Especially when it comes to YouTubers where they have to be in ranked mode or else they're going to just basically drop in viewership. I understand it, but at the same time, like, dude, like sometimes you can't be held captive by your audience. I feel like that's one thing as streamers or even like just normal YouTubers have to kind of be aware of, where like, if you need to change something about your channel, even if it's to a tiny detriment, maybe you should probably follow your gut there. Because yeah, if you yourself are not happy making videos every day, or streaming every day in ranked, I mean, yeah, maybe, go to a different mode every once in a while, like just reset your brain, kind of bring up your patience levels back to normal instead of just like losing your mind the first game you get on. And it looks like I'm starting to become more and more right every day, because again, people cannot stand being in ranked for so long because of just how bad the balance is. And again, it's like, yes, there's some weight of responsibility that comes with the players, and I know a lot of people are going to hate me for saying this, but every month we get like these top 10 videos from Ferg, we get them from Little B, we get them from Aerith, we get them from basically every major COD Mobile YouTuber that basically tells every person, and especially the new ones, to get into the game and just use the easiest weapon that you could find. Yeah, that's one reason why it's ruining the game. But also, obviously, it's not just that. I mean, it's also the incompetence of the devs, where they're just not balancing things the way that they should be balanced. While they're taking this other type of alternative approach where they're just kind of buffing up everything to match the USS9, that's not really the answer. I mean, they probably wouldn't have to go through all that effort if they simply just nerfed that singular weapon. And the same could be said about Martyrdom, where like it seemed like an unnecessary choice from the beginning. I mean, yes, Martyrdom was a little bit annoying before the buff, but I mean, you just kind of brought it up to a completely different level for no reason at all. No one really asked for Martyrdom to get buffed. I don't know where they're getting these ideas of weapon balancing from. A lot of people seem to think that they're only listening to the Chinese community. I mean, I guess that would make sense given where the game is made. But at the same time, I mean, I don't think they're stupid enough to say, "Oh, we all want Martyrdom to get buffed." I think that's something that the devs just came up with on their own. In fact, to add to their credibility, I mean, they're the first ones to actually point out how stupid the wildcard changes were last season. So it's not really them. I think it's more like the devs' idea to buff something like that in such an unnecessary manner, you know? And it kind of feels like, I mean, even in normal matches, if you're playing like basic public matches, I mean, if you've guys seen my streams, how fucking ratty it is. This game seems to kind of reward bad players and just punish good ones. And this kind of serves as something like that kind of works across the board, you know, whether you're playing BR, whether you're playing multiplayer ranked or just normal multiplayer. This game really seems to be a little too noob friendly. I'm sure you guys have already seen it before, whether you're playing controller or you're playing touch, mouse or keyboard. You know, you play that one public TDM match just to finish a challenge off or something, and then you just see this one random dude that's just sitting in a corner, like just in the most random corner that not even in ranked you would probably think to look, right? And you just see that, like, it's just, I don't know if this is just me, but I've just been seeing a massive influx of Ghost users. I mean, a massive amount. Almost to the point where I feel like I could be confident enough to say that I think there's as much Ghost users in public matches as there are Martyrdom users in ranked matches. Despite what you may think, there are some balance oversights that are also kind of prominent in other modes. Like Ghost, honestly, Ghost is kind of like one of those underrated, overpowered perks where, I mean, Ghost still functions in a way where if you're not moving, it doesn't matter. Ghost is still going to be active. Where in most Call of Duty games, they usually balance it out where you have to move in order for Ghost to really work. Only in this game right now, it kind of seems like you could just stay stationary no matter how long, and Ghost is always going to be active. Thus, having a lot of players get thrown off guard when they come across a lot of Ghost users. And mind you, a lot of us that, you know, play ranked or, you know, play in a more, I guess, competitive style are not used to seeing a lot of people with Ghost. So, you know, when you see a player use something that's like out of the ordinary, we tend to get thrown off because we're just not used to handling situations like that. You know, in most ranked matches, people will usually kind of be prepared. You know, they will have like a red perk greed where they'll have like Flak Jacket to counter the martyrdom users, and then they'll have like some other red perk. You know, maybe they'll have martyrdom themselves. But like basically, they would have contingencies in place to deal with the most prominent issue, or at least the issue that happens the most often. So when you see someone use Ghost, which is something that I would consider to be kind of rare, and maybe even in a ranked setting, yeah, most people are not going to be accustomed to dealing with people like that because they never see it. And it's even harder to combat now since the time to kill is a lot faster. So it's a lot harder for you to react against a camper when every LMG or AR kills in 3 shots now. So we have that to deal with as well. Time to kill, I will admit, sometimes could be a little bit too fast. And that's only because the devs refuse to nerf the USS-9, so they just end up buffing everything else instead, thus making the overall time to kill for every weapon basically almost the same. I think almost every weapon in this game now has some sort of 3-tap potential. There's only like the rapid fire weapons that don't have that ability. There's like a lot of things now that I consider to be decent counters to the USS-9. You know, we have the Chicom, we have, you know, believe it or not, we have the M16 if you're really good with the burst. We have the ASM-10, we have the Man of War, maybe with thermites, but even then, it's still not really guaranteed. We have the Odin, we have the KSP that could be a decent option if you're accurate enough. You know, it's like we already have a lot of things that could combat that one overpowered weapon. And next season, we're going to be getting the ICR. You know, depending on how you build it out, it's going to just 3-tap basically anywhere in the body. And then we also are going to have the FR556, where it's going to 3-tap in the upper body within the first like 15 plus meters. Striker 45 is also an option. I kind of forgot to mention that anyways, but yeah. But I would say this whole issue's kind of increased a lot more because of martyrdom. I think that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people are leaving. because it's like martyrdom is just everywhere. Everyone has it. Like there's never going to be a time where you kill someone and then like the grenade indicator doesn't pop up. It's just now it's kind of like a given. The only time I could say it's never really effective is if the enemy that you just killed has martyrdom as the secondary red perk where, the time for detonation is basically doubled. So now they have to like wait 2.5 seconds for it to explode. And by that point, you're pretty much already gone. That's the only time I could consider martyrdom to ever be balanced. I mean, I know next season they're gonna balance it differently where it does explode fast, but it has less damage and less splash damage, or like I guess less radius. So I guess that's a good thing, but yeah, martyrdom I think was kind of one of the bigger issues when it comes to balancing in this game that's causing a lot of people to leave because it just feels like they're getting punished for killing the enemy, which is honestly stupid as fuck. I mean, I don't know why they're so keen on just punishing like just the good players and just rewarding bad players. Like I understand you want to make them feel like they're, actually doing something, but I mean, damn, like why in a rank setting though? Like that's what I want to know. I mean, like why haven't we even got a restrictions list yet? Like I don't know why that's so hard for them to like implement into the game. Like I get you're doing the movement thing, but you could have like implemented a small restrictions list like a few months ago. I don't know why they haven't done that yet. They'll do that for the COD Mobile Championships, but they won't do that for this game. I mean, obviously with COD Mobile Championships, it's kind of like more of like a written rule. It's not something that's implemented into the game itself. But yeah, I don't understand why like they can't have some sort of feature thing where like maybe you're not allowed to use suppressors or you're not allowed to use a certain attachment of the gun. I know a lot of things would come up and people would ask like, "Oh, what if I want to master a certain weapon and I can't use it in ranked or BR?" Well, I mean, then just ban whatever attachment makes it overpowered. I mean, like the 32 AE rounds for the for the USS 9. And it actually amazed me that I think during the world tournament they didn't actually ban that attachment. They banned like all the barrels. I mean, really that's what gave the USS 9 its power in the first place, but I don't know why you don't just ban the attachment. Just let them only use 32 rounds or like whatever base mag that they have. Like I think they banned like the 50 round or something. I'm not sure if they did that, but like, all I know is that they didn't really ban the 32 AE, like, they could have just done that easily, but even then, they still refuse to do that. I don't know, the devs, at least when it comes to balancing, they're I don't know, they're special ed, I don't fucking know what to say. I mean, they can't even have, like, AI, like, just work normally, like, you have bots in high rise looking at you through fucking buildings, like, I don't know. Maybe it's DI higher. I don't fucking know. Like they're fucking retarded sometimes. Features wise, I mean they're doing a pretty fucking good job. I'll admit that. But balance wise, I don't know who they're hiring for that shit. Hopefully, a change of leadership happens at some point within their studio itself. But yeah, like right now, at least in terms of balance, which of course is really the only major issue that COD Mobile has, is just balancing. If they're to get themselves right back on the right track, I think they could probably bring a lot of players back. Like I think a restrictions list would probably be the best way to do so, at least initially, right? But yeah, I don't know. Like we're in this weird situation where just there's more and more people leaving, and the devs don't really seem to care much about that. I know some of you guys are gonna say that they're just busy worrying about selling stuff, and I get what you're saying there, but at the same time, it's like it's kind of it's a little tiny bit invalid to say that because I mean they have been doing again a great job adding features. I mean they've even been providing us a lot of discounts, so it's not like they're being complete assholes. I would say. I know some people might have been pissed about the USS 9 not getting nerfed after the Mythic came back came back into the store. And I honestly kind of agree. I do agree because, most of the times whenever a mythic gets released, they usually kind of ban the weapon like right after. I mean, this was kind of like an old pattern back in the day, but they don't do that anymore. I don't know why they didn't bother to do that, at least with the USS 9. I think it could have been a good exception to the rule because I mean, this thing has been ruling the game for quite a long time now. Almost almost a year at this point, this gun has been basically number 1. So, yeah, they gotta do something about it pronto or they're just gonna keep losing more players. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe for some more COD Mobile content. I'll see you guys next time.